There's no better time to be a fan of the best league in the world, the Isuzu UTE League, where anything can and usually does happen. This afternoon, we're on Paramount Plus, coming from Amy Park on the land of the Wurundjeri people, as Melbourne City, sitting in 6th but eyeing off 3rd place, take on a Perth side currently down in 10th. They can move all the way up to 7th with a win this evening. Between these two sides that have already met once this season. It seems like an age ago already. There have been plenty of changes for the visitors in between time, but back in round 2, it was Melbourne City, led by that man Aziz Bayic, that you can see on the Isuzu UTE tunnel cam, who emerged 4-0 victors. Max Caputo at the double, and debut A-League goals for Zane Schreiber and Kavian Rahmani. Well, the form guide, though, doesn't make for such pretty reading for fans of Melbourne City. Just one win in their last 5 A-League matches. Success in the Asian Champions League elite competition coming at a bit of a cost in the domestic competition. For Perth, well, after that run of 3 straight wins, which secured Adam Griffiths the permanent head coaching job, well, back-to-back defeats now, and they can't afford to fall back into those bad old habits that have crippled their most recent campaigns. Melbourne City starting well and truly favourites in this one, the defending A-League champions. And that is with good reason as well. They have won 7 of their last 8 against Perth Glory, home and away. They have won each of the last 4, scoring 18 unanswered goals, including both clubs' biggest win and biggest defeat, 8-0 2 years ago. Well, it's a 3rd game in 8 days for Aurelio Vidmar's team. He makes just 2 changes, though. Patrick Beach stays in goal. Samuel Suprayon is only fit enough for a place in the bench, so Liam Bonatig partners Herman Ferreira in the centre of defence, Kai Truan stepping into midfield. The 2 changes come in attack, where Andrew Naboot and Kavian Rahmani sit either side of Max Caputo. And there is the 20-year-old Max Caputo, City's top scorer with 4 goals, 6 in all competitions. But he hasn't scored in his last 5 in the A-League. Something of a goal drought. They've scored just 3 in their last 5 as a team as well. So plenty of responsibility on the shoulders of the 20-year-old in attack. Well, as Perth look to snap that 2-game losing streak, Adam Griffiths has made just the 1 change. Callum Timmins misses out with a calf strain as Reece Bozanovski comes straight back in after a niggle. Josh Risdon is suspended, while Luke Amos, Lockie Wales, Jaden Kaczarski and Seb Despotovski are all still injured. Adam Taggart, however, is back on the bench, not risked for this one yet, but the team will be staying in Melbourne. They take on Victory next Friday. Former Melbourne City goalkeeper Matt Sutton has been one of the standouts for Perth so far this season. He was signed as an injury replacement for Mark Birighitti, who is now keeping out of the team. Birighitti is fully fit and biding his time on the sidelines. Perhaps a permanent move for Matt Sutton is in the offing. He saved a penalty last game against Craig Goodwin as well. There is Aurelio Vidmar, the 57-year-old coach, who took Adelaide all the way to a final of the Asian Champions League. Now he's looking to mastermind a solid campaign for Melbourne City in that competition as well. Adam Griffiths, well, since he's got the permanent gig, he's now looking for his first win after 3 consecutive wins as interim manager. And he's still dealing with that massive 35-player squad. There could be more changes coming in January. Casey Rybelt is our central referee. George Lacrindis and Astro Sakalis assisting on the lines. Sean Evans is the 4th official. Adam Kersey and Hugh Fenton-White in the VAR room. Well, for the final time in 2025, Melbourne City and Perth Glory take to the pitch in the Isuzu UTE League. It may have been an historic year for the reigning champions, Melbourne City. It's been a tumultuous one for Perth Glory, but all of that is put to one side. No time to reflect. The history books will do all that, Grayscale, because now we have 90 minutes, 90 big minutes And both these two sides need to get back to winning ways ASAP.
Evening, Robbie. Well, great to be here in 90 minutes indeed, and hopefully for another epic showdown like we've seen across the last couple of days, because there's been some seriously entertaining football played. And to see out the weekend, just this little period between Christmas and the New Year where everything's a little blurry. But one thing's for sure is that we've had a lot of good football.
Well, let's hope the festivities have been moderate and responsible for these two sides. We've already had, as Grace said, 14 goals scored in our first two A-League men's matches of round 10. Sydney versus Auckland has been postponed to a later date. And we've still got matches to come that will head into the week. Melbourne City enjoying this run of matches at home at the moment. 7 consecutive home games where they will try and find some consistency, quite amazingly for the champions, without back-to-back wins this season. Just 3 wins in their 9 league matches so far. Tomorrow, Melbourne Victory take on Wellington Phoenix, and then on Wednesday, the Central Coast Mariners entertain Brisbane as well, as Perth look to get forward down the right-hand side through Chabel Shamoun. He has been one of the players to really shine under Adam Griffiths. The coach revealing that he's got a nickname for all his players. Chabel Shamoun is the barber. Beach with Ferreira. Kanamori, that's a clever pass. Not easy to execute. Around the back for Atkinson. So Kai Truant playing in the 6. We were wondering where Kanamori would play. It looks as though he's in a central midfield position, similar to Andreas Kuhn in that number 8 role. Normally we see Kanamori out on the right wing, but Andrew Nabut is there from kickoff. Early ball forward for Caputo, and Sutton had to be alert outside his box.
These early stages, just both teams trying to get a sense of each other, feeling the tempo of the game out. City in particular with a lot of football in their legs. Perth, a few players managing some niggles and injuries.
And that looks a very painful one early on for the Welshman. Tom Lawrence, is it a dead leg? I think it well might be.
Yeah, not one they can afford to lose either in Tom Lawrence. Started a little slow when joining Perth and just getting up to fitness, getting up to full speed, but the last few weeks I think is really starting to hit his straps, goal scoring aside. He's looking more the player that I'm sure the club anticipated him to be.
And he's shouldering his fair share of the responsibilities in attack as well at the moment. Taggart is back on the bench. But no Kucharski, as well as there is Lawrence trying to burst through. Wootton, the Englishman under pressure. Kanamori, well, he has a fantastic technique, as we've seen with a couple of his goals this season. No way through for Rahmani. Freeney, he's done that pretty nicely. Now Shamoun, he's got Osler ahead of him. Chabel Shamoun outside with Trent Osler. Opportunity for Perth here. Cross in. Pennington must have called to leave, but then the shot from Freeney has taken a deflection on the way through. First corner of the evening inside 5 minutes is for the away side.
Bright start from Perth. Good movement, good play as well. Shamoun, as you mentioned, has been really good for Perth in this opening start of the season, and tonight as well. Getting forward, providing an option. This tricky for Patrick Beach, a bouncing effort in a really congested area can get hard to see that through legs.
Well, he was clearly unsighted for the victory goal in the last minute of the derby as well. As there's the ball in, it might fall for Brian Kaltak. Not the most prolific of goal scorers, and he took that one off the toe of Rhys Bozanovsky. Nick Pennington, he's been amongst the goals, and you can see a bit of strapping on the thighs as well. He's taken a blow to his hip there by the looks of things.
Closely marked by Kai Truant. He's heavily to ground, and again, not one that Perth can afford to go without. Had to work his way back into the side, Nick Pennington, but I think since coming back in, he's played a really important role. A bit more experience. He's found the back of the net on a couple of occasions as well.
And those back-to-back wins over Newcastle and MacArthur. And one of 3 former Wellington Phoenix teammates all together now at Perth. Here's another one of them, just received from Sam Sutton to Scott Wootton. The Phoenix trio. There are a few ex-Western United players as well. The key for Adam Griffiths is to try and wade through the plethoric squad that Perth have, try and find the players he wants to keep moving forward. Rumours coming out of the Glory are that this January transfer window could be another one with plenty of movement in and out. The fattening up for Christmas isn't really the problem at Perth Glory. They're trying to thin to get rid of a few players, and there are some recognisable names in the A-League as well that are out, not really being considered at the moment. Taras Gamulka is one who's got nearly 100 matches of A-League football under his belt. This is Andrew Naboot. Can't quite manage to keep that in play. Nathaniel Blair is another who has been frozen out. Kalen Majeka-Dumni as well. So still 35 players in Adam Griffiths' playing squad. Not easy to deal with, and plenty of injuries as well. Luke Amos is still out injured. Lockie Wales as well. Players that have barely featured. Well, those two haven't featured so far this season as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to sort through there, and Perth has been the team to use the most number of players across the course of the season in terms of trimming down the fat and finding the crop that you want to go forward with. And Adam Griffiths, as a new coach, of course, will have his own ideas about what that looks like.
Matt Sutton keeps it in play. Caputo looks to close down his former teammate. Matt Sutton spent 3 seasons at Melbourne City, playing behind Tom Glover. Made just 3 appearances in the end. Wooden all the way back again to Matt Sutton. That's a good ball for Sam Sutton. Lawrence couldn't get there, and again it's just played forward a little too hastily from Melbourne City, who are a side that like to dominate possession. They've made the 2nd most passes in the league. They're one of the more accurate, technically proficient sides as well. But it's Perth who have had more of the ball so far in this one. It's a good touch from Osler. Little ball over the top for Suleimani, who's up against his former club, and he's done well to turn inside Bonating. Osler, the cutback surely! And Tom Lawrence with his 2nd goal of the season. The perfect start for Perth Glory, who have stunned the champions at Amy Park.
Well, that's really, really well worked by Perth on a Harvey Norman replay. And we mentioned Melbourne City just looking a little lackadaisical, not quite having the sharpness and the quality, but there's no doubt about this play here. Really good work down the right-hand side. Finds a player inside. The cutback as well is all too easy. Melbourne City just standing and watching, and for Perth Glory slicing through City's defence. Make that look like a training ground move. It's neat, it's sharp. And Osler's done really well to deliver that on a platter. Tom Lawrence won't miss from there. Neat start from Perth.
Aryan Suleimani, who was involved in that one. Still hasn't scored an A-League goal, the winger, but he got down to the byline well there. Turned Bonatig. Now this is just being checked, all good. I'm not sure what the check was about, but fortunately for Perth Glory, nothing too serious. And Perth, who came into this match with the second worst, well, equal worst actually now, attack in the league after Western Sydney got 2 last night. Well, they have taken on one of the best defences, and that is now 3 games without a clean sheet on the bounce for the young Socceroo goalkeeper Patrick Beach as well. Defence over the last couple of seasons has been Melbourne City's backbone, if you like, in which they've built their success. And now they have to do what they've also struggled to do, which is score goals at the moment. 0-0 with the Mariners, 1-0 against Newcastle, a 1-0 loss to Melbourne Victory, and then 1-1 with Macarthur, so only 2 in their last 4 for City, and the flag up for offside against Max Caputo.
Yeah, Aurelio Vidmar really will not be pleased with the start he's seen. We mentioned the quality or lack thereof from City. We know we've come to expect them to be sharp, their passes to be neat. This opening 10 or so minutes has been anything but. And Perth capitalised in a moment where they really needed to. We've seen some games go by and they haven't made the most of those opportunities. On that one, no mistake. Question mark hanging over Perth coming into this game. No Kucharski. Taggart returning from injury on the bench. Despotovsky still out with a calf injury, so multiple players unavailable.
Perth haven't won against Melbourne City at Amy Park in 4 years. Not since February 2021. There was a 3-1 win. They haven't even scored a goal against them since then. In their last 4. And they were, until 3.5 minutes ago, the only side left in the competition yet to score in the opening 15 minutes of a match. And if you're looking for omens, well, every time they've scored so far this season in a match, they've taken something from it. 1 draw and 3 wins before today. Otherwise, in the 5 matches they lost, they failed to trouble the scorers as well. So suffice to say, a perfect start for Perth Glory. Here's Andreas Kuhn. And Freeney has done really well. Square ball for Lawrence. Oh, he tries to beat Patrick Beach from a long way out, and looked like that was going in as well.
I don't mind that one bit from Tom Lawrence. Player that has the vision. And Patrick Beach, well, you mentioned it, hasn't been the assured goalkeeper that we saw in the opening few rounds of this season. Just a little warning sign.
And the City fans trying to rouse their team. Bajic. Comfortably done by Brian Kaltak, who is really starting to show the qualities he had a couple of years ago at the Central Coast Mariners after a difficult start in Perth. And there's the Vanuatu international and A-League legend. Very quickly after making his debut in the league at 29 years of age, promptly winning everything. Naboot. Back in the starting lineup, Andrew Naboot. The cross is a good one as well. Rahmani, oh, what a save! The outstretched boot of Matt Sutton, denying Andreas Kuhn. Miraculous. And now the break is on. Hostler in the foot race with Bonatig.
Huge moment. A sure goal as ever for City. That's not just good positioning by Matt Sutton, that is pure instinct and reflex. A big right hand at close range. Should be 1-1. And given his early season performances, you can understand why he's holding on to that first goalkeeping spot. That is world class, that stop.
Mark Birighitti having to cool his gloves on the sidelines at the moment. He's not even on the bench. That goes to Ryan Warner, who's the understudy at the moment. Let's have another look at this save. Fantastic stuff from the former City custodian. That effort was the first of the match for Melbourne City against 5 shots already for Perth. Here they come again though. Naboot, he strikes. Had plenty of power, but not the accuracy to trouble Sutton.
They probably needed that, Andrew Naboot. Whether it be frustration or just trying to take matters into his own hands, just unfurl a moment. He's capable from that kind of distance, we know he is. You don't want to afford a player like Andrew Naboot too much time and space on the ball.
Does have 1 goal to his name this season. It came in the Asian Champions League elite against Machida Zelvia, the winner, away in Japan in the 94th minute. They currently sit 4th in the league phase with 2 matches left to play. Those matches come in February, away to Ulsan and then at home to Gangwon, 2 Korean sides. But they are looking good to book their place in the knockout stages of the competition. But they are behind here at the moment. And we know that this Perth side, they have some real spirit these days. There are a few travelling fans here as well. Looking around the grounds before kick-off as well, there are several members of the Barmy Army and perhaps some Aussie cricket fans as well who were thinking of being across the road at the MCG. But that one ended early, a few taking advantage to get down and see some of the madness that is the Isuzu UTE League. Rahmani all the way across. Naboot again. Kanamori can strike with both feet. Takesh Kanamori. Kai Truan's first time ball. Was that a hand there from Freeney? Crowd thought so. Referee not interested for the moment. Here's Pennington. And Freeney again. Good feet from Will Freeney. Real all-action midfielder. Tom Lawrence is just all-action, whether it's scoring the goals or starting the move from the back. How about that for a pass as well? Brilliant. And it almost caught out Patrick Beach. Marian Suleimani perhaps didn't think the ball was going to make it all the way through. A boot switch, but that will get away from Rahmani.
Nice ball over the top, left Patrick Beach almost in 2 minds, waiting for it to bounce into the 18-yard box where he can make a grab at it. And Suleimani, who started really well in this half, looking a threat, looking dangerous. What we're just starting to see edge into the game a little bit more at either side. is using their midfield. That opening 10-15 minutes, there was a lot of long deliveries over the top, using the width, but very little through what is a talented midfield at either end. We're just starting to see the likes of Freeney get on the ball a bit more, Trulin, Kanamori get a bit more involved where they need to be.
That's a good ball, sliding it through. Suleimani so close to a first ever A-League goal. He made his first team debut for City against Perth back in the Australia Cup a couple of years ago. 8 appearances last season without managing to trouble the scorers. But he was very close there. He must be wondering when that goal is finally going to come.
Yeah, well-timed run, really good. And not many get past Ferreira. It's a good save by Patrick Beach, probably needs that as well, the confidence, a strong leg, outstretched with the 5-point save. Really good goalkeeping. Suleimani, he started well.
Now Rahmani, lovely feet. Still Rahmani wants the free kick, nothing given from Casey Rybelt. Thomas, first time ball. Lawrence rather. That's going to happen. Suleimani, and now the follow-up, and it's 2! Tom Lawrence. Well, he saved it for the big stage, the Welshman. Perth Glory have come out all guns blazing.
Well, again, another beautifully timed run on the Harvey Norman replay. Great hold-up play by Suleimani, cuts back in, it falls kindly, really kindly to Tom Lawrence, and he is looking to be the proper baller that we know he can be. Makes no mistake again, it's a simple finish, but he makes it look easy. A solid strike, gets a good piece of it into the far corner. Patrick Beach furious. Perth Glory are 2 to the good, and they deserve it.
Suleimani, who was involved in the first, provides the assist for the second. Adam Griffiths enjoying the show as well. 2 goals in 22 minutes for Tom Lawrence. And Aurelio Vidmar must be wondering what's happened to his side in the last few weeks. Patrick Beach once again abandoned, and here come Perth immediately. Got it back. Lawrence again this time. Tackled by Ferreira. And he came through the youth ranks at Everton, where he was highly rated, but a Manchester United fan. His coach as a young teenager said when Manchester United came knocking, they never really stood a chance. He ended up wearing the famous red jersey just once in the Premier League. A number of loan moves and various moves around the leagues. Derby County for a number of years, and then more recently Rangers in Scotland. But now he's making Perth his home, and Perth must be pretty happy about that for the moment. You can see him playing basically as a free role in the number 10. Here he is again. Suleimani's fouled by Bonatig. Another way round.
Picture tells the story there. But Suleimani started really well. It's been a lot of fun to watch in this opening 20-25 minutes. Looks busy, keeps dropping in to receive the ball, wants to get on the ball, a good confidence in a young player.
after making a great save to deny Suleimani. Beach beaten for a second time, and Melbourne City with an absolute mountain to climb now. Wozanovski, Pennington, overlapping run from Sam Sutton. Here's Freeney with Reece Wozanovski. Good pass, he couldn't find Tom Lawrence. Pennington takes over. Sutton driving it across. Sutton again might have another chance. Oh, off the crossbar. So close to 3-0 inside the opening 27 minutes.
Well, a little wry smile because Sam Sutton was gifted a second opportunity. Had players lining up. Look at Lawrence standing at the top of the 18-yard box. Had a hat-trick in waiting. Still does. Another really good moment for Perth Glory. Sutton, maybe a little rush of blood to the head.
Well, this Perth Glory side don't look like a team that have failed to score in their last two. They can't get too much closer. Sam Sutton. It's just his third appearance of the season. Oh, it's a good ball over the top. Suleimani again has got the drop on Bonitic this time. The flag's up for offside. Let's head down to Jake Barker-Daish, who's on the sidelines for us. Jake, how's the show already?
Oh, Robbie, what an opening 27 minutes to the game we've had. We actually just heard the Perth Glory fans making a real noise in the stadium, which is not something you hear too much at Melbourne City games, as they've been caught just a little bit slow, a little bit lackadaisical in what is their third game in 8 days, as you mentioned. But I did just want to talk about Tom Lawrence. I spoke to Adam Taggart in pre-season just to ask what he was like, and he was raising eyes already in the pre-season. He expected him to be a real big part of their season with the quality that he was showing, and just thought as soon as he gets games in his belts, he's going to start running the show, which we are seeing here. It'd be wise for Perth to just keep finding his feet and try and maximise what has already been a very impressive first 30 minutes for him.
Thank you, Jake. Yes, City looking to find a way back into the game. They were 2-0 down early against Adelaide when Kanamori got them back into the game, and it looked as though they might be finding a way back in, but ultimately it was Adelaide that scored that memorable 4-1 victory over City. Lawrence again. Here's Kai Truan. Well, he certainly brings plenty of pedigree and first team experience from the UK as well. Interestingly, many of those Glory fans are on this side of the stadium, not over where we often see away fans in that far corner of the ground. Perhaps they weren't expecting too many, given the vast distances. Here's Kanamori. That's a good ball, looking for Caputo. He just lost his footing. He was being very closely watched by Kaltak. As is Bajic. Has to turn and track back. Bajic, who scored that simply stunning free kick against MacArthur on Tuesday. Don't forget, it's Christmas, and part of your gift as an A-League fan is that there are matches all the time. Melbourne Victory take on the Phoenix tomorrow night. Nabut's cross, back post. Rahmani had come in looking for a goal closer to home. Bonitic that time got the better of Suleimani. Atkinson. Rahmani, nice ball. Kuhn, clever pass. Caputo, great challenge. Will Freeney. It had to be perfect, and it was.
Oh, that's a deserved celebration from Perth. Pennington over to congratulate Freeney. A sure goal-saving challenge. Had to time it to perfection. Gets the ball really well. Caputo completely blindsided. And they're the moments that mean a lot. Small margins, fine margins that really galvanise a team. 30-minute mark, Perth, 2 goals to the good. And Freeney takes matters into his own hands. And Caputo, who has been excellent for City this season, is going to have to work a little harder this afternoon to try and claw City back into this one.
There are the Glory fans who have looked like they've recruited the Barmy Army to help with their choir this afternoon. Tom Lawrence again, accelerates, still going. Suleimani trying to use his body. Pennington will get there first, keeps it alive cleverly with Sutton. Tom Lawrence again, Sutton. Back to the Welshman. He really is such an important piece of the puzzle for Adam Griffiths. You can see it's a bit like the Juan Mata effect at Melbourne Victory. You see players looking for Tom Lawrence just the whole time. Bajic with the good defensive header. Suleimani brought it down cleverly. Oh, Rahmani, Freeney. Well, that was a robust challenge. Rahmani was very quickly back to his feet. Again, Tom Lawrence just sauntering around, picking up the ball deep, looking to spray a few big diagonals, balls over the top. And then again, Wootton goes looking. There's the flick from Lawrence, again involved. Pennington, first time ball. Osler. Suleimani's in the middle. Oh, Trent Osler looking to beat Beach at his near post. And the former teammates with a couple of choice words. City, when they do get forward, but to tell you the truth, it's been few and far between so far, largely favouring Andrew Naboot on that far side. Suffice to say, the last few games it's been this left-hand side with Kuhn and Roshani. Roshani, who's missing today just through a bit of soreness. They don't want to risk him, having played 3 matches in a row between FC Seoul and then back-to-back A-League games.
Well, won't be beaten at his near post again. Suleimani with a bit of pressure. Just to cast our minds back a couple of minutes, Matt Sutton, his distribution this afternoon has been on point. Diagonal pass, found Pennington, which could start the play deep in City's defensive half. And a defence that is often so resolute at the back in Melbourne City has just been a little shaky today, a little disorganised. As a moment earlier, I was watching Aziz Bajic absolutely tearing in to Liam Bonatic, wanting better shape, wanting him a little further advanced. Such a competitor is Bajic, and standards in this opening 35 minutes would not be up to scratch.
Free kick goes against Kavian Rahmani, which Andreas Kuhn can't quite believe, and I don't think Scott Jamieson or Aurelio Vidmar could either. Pennington looking long. Well, Suleimani is just chasing everything in behind, trying to stretch that back line, and he has got in behind them a couple of times as well. Things have just settled down a little bit in the last few minutes. It's been 10 minutes now since Sam Sutton hit the crossbar. Freeney. Sutton again. Oh, Andrew Naboot's done well. Closing down the space. And again, Atkinson. Kanamori back for Atkinson. Down towards the byline. He might just have overdone it a little bit, Nathaniel Atkinson, but he's got the corner.
Well, on that occasion, Perth just holding on to the ball a moment too long. Freeney maybe trying to do a touch too much. And City can find a way to wriggle through. Afforded themselves a corner. Great chance late in the half.
Casey Ryabelt having words with Bonatig and Freeney. He's like a little terrier, Will Freeney. It's physical in there. Cohen's delivery to the back post, Naboot. And Max Caputo was there as well, but he couldn't head it goalwards. The goal drought for City's number 17 continuing so far.
Well, Naboot and Caputo almost getting in each other's way. Naboot, though, you could see was relatively unmarked on the back post. Something Perth need to be aware of defensively.
He started in such fine form. Max Caputo, a big season for him. It was 8 goals in a real flurry at the start of the season, but they've dried up a little bit now. Suleimani again doing well against Ferreira. He has a look inside, sees the coast is clear, so City can try and bring it from left to right, but Suleimani has been a real thorn in his former team side so far in this one. Here's Cohen. City do come down the left, but Shamoon does well. Abel Shamoon still. Iraqi international now, the young man. One of those players to have moved post Western United hibernation. Grace Bozanovsky. Another. Guess you could say Jaden Kucharski as well. Ball in for Atkinson. Naboot again. Looks up, still going. It's a little bit of frustration to be trying that on the left boot from that far out and that angle.
Maybe just running out of patience. Hasn't caught a nice piece of that. And Perth, their last few goal kicks, they haven't wanted to play short. Matt Sutton happy to clear for distance because a lot of the good work for the Glory, the visiting team, is happening in that middle to final third.
Well won by Bonatig. Caputo helping it on. But Naboot is forced all the way back. Well, 2 years ago in 2024, early 2024, City beat Perth by 8-0. Their biggest ever win in the A-League, Perth's heaviest ever defeat. Since that result, City have won 5-0, 1-0 and 4-0 earlier this season. 18 unanswered goals in 4 victories, and all of a sudden, Perth have turned the tables. Kanamori drives it in. Wootton got the call just in time.
Well, there's trust there. How many times do you see the goalkeeper shout for the ball and The defender, who's halfway through their motion, still clears it for touch. But Sutton, Wooten, Kaltak at the back. That solid defensive line, as you mentioned, has improved as the season's worn on. And Kaltak and Wooten in two players who have really found a nice partnership at the back.
Pennington with Freeney outside to Sutton. Pennington again. Sutton, another of those former Western United players who was without a club until that injury to Mark Birighitti. Ball forward for Osler. Not the easiest, and Tom Lawrence just pointing and saying, you've got to be out there. So the recovery run from Osler was a mini sprint. Typically athletic from Kaltak. And as his badge will come forward to take this. Well, he's been waiting. Former assistant to Giancarlo Italiano at Wellington. Adam Griffiths then moved assistant to David Strilic at Perth. But when that opportunity presented itself, first of all, he made no bones about wanting the job. He had the ambition, and then he had to back it up, and he did so. Pennington gives it away. Oh, this could be a mistake that lets them back into the game. And Andreas Kuhn is another that has the quality, the Austrian, but is still looking for his first goal of the season as well.
They scored arguably the most important goal of last year's campaign in the final against Melbourne Victory. He's been quiet in this opening half, barely mentioned his name.
Sutton. Well, he's already denied Andreas Kuhn once from close range. It's a great block. Wooten in the end. But again, that central defensive partnership working so well together. Kuhn. Rahmani. Kozanowski doing the defending now as is Bajic. Back with Kuhn. That's a good ball for Kanamori. Excellent defending again, Will Freeney. And Kanamori hacking away at his ankles.
Freeney almost intentionally holding on, inviting the contact. He was looking for a little bit of support. Solid challenge, really, really well worked to win possession in the first place. Had a strong first half, Will Freeney.
It's been a very disappointing first 45 minutes for Melbourne City so far. Again, not trying to play out against a normally dominant City side. Pennington, who's been holding that hip since the very first minute of the match, on the stroke of half-time gets another knock.
Just upended by Atkinson. It's been really effective in that wide position for Perth Glory. I think Pennington coming back in his third consecutive start now under Adam Griffiths. But a really important role in this, a really difficult spot for Melbourne City to defend. A good delivery just to test the space in front of Patrick Beach could be dangerous.
Well, a third goal here could definitively take this one beyond Melbourne City. They've only scored more than 2 goals in a game once this season. Of course, that would have been against Perth. But they're going to need 3 if they want to get the win here, at least 3. That one doesn't make it past the wall. All the way back to Sutton. He's just rolled it forward to Freeney. And now Tom Lawrence, again, it was only just half a yard away really from Arian Suleimani. 1 minute left. Plenty of time to launch one final attack, but so far it's been pretty toothless from Melbourne City. Just that one effort on target. It came in the 16th minute when Sutton denied Kuhn. There's a good ball. Oh, it might yet drop. And Rahmani wasn't watching, as Shamoon and Sutton got themselves in a real muddle.
It's a dangerous delivery. Just a little moment of miscommunication, which hasn't been the case in this opening half for Perth. A sore one as well. Shamoon clattering into Sutton. And both players know it.
It's a let-off, but there's still, or perhaps not, the time for one more chance. Bajic. Bonatig. Ferreira with Atkinson. Shamoon still limping badly in the middle, but he's rejoined. Kanamori, good ball to the back post. Oh, Shamoon is struggling. He wants that half-time whistle as soon as possible. Here it comes. Well, hopefully that's not a little dampener on what has been an otherwise outstanding first half of football for Perth Glory and Tom Lawrence in particular. His second and third goals of the campaign. The Welshman, the star of the show for Perth Glory so far. Goals in the 10th and 22nd minutes. And Perth Glory, belying their lowly league position, are deservedly in front. They lead Melbourne City, the defending champions, by 2-0. We're heading off to a quick break, but we will be right back to wrap up that first half. Stay with us.
There is no place for racism, abuse, or hate in our sport. Play it fair. Flares are illegal at our venues. If you possess or throw a flare, there are severe penalties that apply. Any spectator identified with a prohibited item may be refused entry, evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and handed over to police for further questioning. A financial fine may also be issued. We are committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for all fans and ask you to respect your fellow spectators by refraining from illegal and dangerous activities. It is the offence for any spectator to enter the field and play without authorisation. Any spectator that enters the field and play without authorisation will be evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and handed over to police for further questioning. A financial fine may also be issued. The APL is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone. We ask you to respect the players and in this season ball. We're Are you Australia's safest driver? All Aussie drivers 18 years and over can take the AIMI driving test now for your chance to win big prizes. Follow the QR code below for your chance to win. For full terms and conditions, see aimi.com.au/AIMI driving test.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks halftime show. Andy Harper and Grace Gill with me, and we're going to look at the Socceroo of the year for 2025. Such a massive year for the men's national team. World Cup qualification secured. Never something to take for granted in this country. And we know our draw, of course, for that massive tournament in North America. So the player that stood out for you, Andy Harper, more than any other in terms of our Socceroo for 2025?
Well, drum roll, please, because before I get to that, I'd like to make a couple of comments about various individuals. Firstly, Jackson Irvine, clearly injured for a large chunk of 2025, but he, to me, in a lot of ways, is the centrepiece of this current team. Just the leadership, what he does, the selflessness. He's really hard to replace, as we've seen with the various exercises through which the team has gone. Then I'd like to acknowledge, and they haven't done enough to be a Socceroo of the Year yet, but it's tantalising to see what Eric Kunda is starting to offer, what Mo Toure, in partnership with Nestori, might be able to bring. So they hover not as Socceroos of the Year, but as really nice discussion points coming into the World Cup year. And then the drum finishes now. I'm going Cam Burgess, and I'm going Cam Burgess in a hot field of defenders because the progress of the Socceroos has been built around the Popovic Iron Dome, around the centre three defenders of whom, when the ball comes into our penalty area, much is expected, and the three of them have delivered. The three being ostensibly Cherkati, Milos Degenek and Cam Burgess. But for one reason or another, I'm going with Big Cam. I think he's been outstanding. If Harry Sutar comes back into the discussion after his injury, then that really bolsters the World Cup stocks. It's a hard discussion to have because that centre three is really the structural formation of the team's success, which has been profound. Let's not forget, it got them into pot 2 of the World Cup draw. It wasn't because they were blitzing teams. It's because they were hanging into the contest, winning games late. That's why Australia got the run of undefeated matches. That's why Popovic's team got into pot 2 and have helped us avoid some of the big daddies in World Cup time. So I bring it back to the Iron Dome, the Popovic Dome, and I've picked one of the three and I've gone Cam Burgess.
Grace?
I like it, Harps. I've also gone with a defender in LA, Cherkati. I think he's had an outstanding 2025 when we look at the calendar year. Captaining the team in his 7th ever Socceroos appearance, and you don't get given the armband with no good reason. And I think from what he's done on the field, a lot of people have taken notice. If they didn't know who he was before, they surely do now, and I think there's a really, really bright future for Cherkati. Obviously, a couple of little injury niggles here and there as well, but I do also want to give a special mention to Geordie Boss. I don't think you can go past a player who has done what he's done with Feyenoord and not get a mention. To get the Player of the Month in that league is something no Australian has ever done before, and that is huge. We see his attributes as a player, and he too, like Cherkati, will be in this Socceroo setup for a very long time.
Fair argument that he's the most important player in the Socceroos, Geordie Boss, because of the formation, wing-backs. So he holds that left side together. Both of your nominations, centre-backs, and there's a player called, as you said, Harps, Harry Suter to come back. That's hugely encouraging for the national team moving forward. Paul Izzo may be a little bit unlucky, had a really good campaign and is probably the #1 at the moment ahead of Matty Ryan.
on Patrick Beach. I mean, is he emerging? You know, it's hard to argue with Grace because she formed such a strong argument, and they were excellent points made. Now you throw in Paul Izzo, who over the span of 2025 right in the discussion. I guess the challenge for Paul is, does he remain in the discussion going through to the World Cup? Because Matty Ryan will have something to say about that. Patrick Beach was thrown a bone in the last World Cup windows, and how well did he do? It's a stretch to think he'll usurp both and become the number one, but the heat's on in the goalkeeping position.
Bring on the World Cup. We cannot wait for it. Let's get back out to the ground for all the highlights from the first half.
And there were plenty of highlights in that opening 45 minutes. But let's jump straight to the goals in the 10th minute, Grace. And this was really a deserved opener for Tom Lawrence.
Yeah, it was, and really well worked by Suleimani, who was dangerous, who was energetic, who worked really hard, and Trent Osler getting the final touch to tee up Tom Lawrence, who was really magnetic in that first half, involved in everything, searching for the ball. But I'm really enjoying the work rate and the industry that we're seeing from Arion Suleimani, who's been involved in everything.
The first assist of the season for him. And a first goal of the match for Tom Lawrence. That was to be quickly followed by a first assist of the season for Suleimani as well. Will Freeney, no surprise that he was at the start of the move, breaking up play. And then that 1-2 between Tom Lawrence and Arion Suleimani. Perhaps not an intentional one as Suleimani checked back inside.
And for City, it's a goal that shouldn't happen. There's 4 City defenders there, 4 City blue shirts around. And yes, the touch heavy off the boot of Suleimani, but nonetheless, Tom Lawrence has space to run into, to step onto what is, in the end, a very simple finish for his second of the afternoon.
Adam Griffiths, all smiles. So there is the Paramount Plus player index as it stands at the moment. Tom Lawrence, no surprises there, way out in front. Perhaps a bit of a surprise to see Herman Ferreira there because they've been all at sea at the back. Matt Sutton has been outstanding in goal for Perth as well, who are deservedly in front at the break. The second half is coming up, but before then, don't forget the Women's Asian Cup is coming up soon.
When you unite together for that one goal in the 90 minutes, it's something special.
That is special! Huge moment for the Matildas.
The only place to see the Combank Matildas and every game of the AFC Asian Cup is on Paramount Plus.
the players not too far away from making their re-entrance back on Sandy Park for the start of the second half. So why not start to lift the energy levels here at home? We need our boys to respond. We need you to bring plenty of energy. Let's get the camera up on the stand at the moment for some seat dancing.
Tom Lawrence has been outstanding in the first half at the double for Perth Glory, who lead the champions by 2-0 at half-time. They've also hit the crossbar as well. Let's head down to Jake Barkendash, who's on the sidelines for us with an update. Jake.
Well, the question was for Perth coming in is how they're going to get the goals. No Adam Taggart, no Jaden Kucharski, and also no Despotovsky. But didn't Tom Lawrence just say, hold my Christmas dinner, because he turned up and showed some absolute spirit. His 2 goals in the first half were brilliant. It's forced Melbourne City to go to their bench. We're going to see Max Caputo and Liam Bonnetti coming off the field for Samuel Supre and also Medin Mehmeti. Principles are going to be key for Melbourne City. They're going to need the ball speed. They're going to need to put pressure on. It's their 3rd game in 8 days, but they need to lift in this second half. So all to play for here.
Thank you, Jake. So a couple of changes in the ranks for the home side. Desperate times calling for desperate measures for Aurelio Vidmar. There is Casey Rybelt, our central referee. So Samuel Suprayon has come into the contest at half-time. He's already suffered a couple of injuries so far this season, and Medin Mehmeti is also one of the new faces. Suprayon will bring all that experience and calm at the back, as well as a great partnership with Herman Ferreira. The second half is underway. Melbourne City chasing the game. And the big question is, can they provide the goals, Grace? Which they haven't rarely looked like scoring in the first 45 minutes.
Well, it's a big question, and it needs answering in this second 45 minutes. You can just imagine the change rooms at half-time for the City team. Not good enough in the first 45 minutes, not sharp enough, not tidy enough. A couple of changes in frustration, in anger, and in desperation for things to turn around. Suprayan comes in with a bit of experience, maybe just to settle things at the back, because they looked out to sea in that first 45 minutes, absolutely.
And the second change of Mehmeti coming on for City's top scorer, Max Caputo, who was outstanding in the derby a couple of weeks ago, but the matches are coming, in fact, it was only a week ago. They've played so many games. This their 3rd in 8 days. But Caputo is off at half-time. He did have that great chance, an amazing tackle by Will Freeney in the box just as he was about to pull the trigger. Now Suprayon with the big switch, and Mehmeti had just drifted into an offside position. The change of Caputo has seen Andrew Naboot move into that central striking role, and Mehmeti come onto this right flank.
It's be interesting to see if they do try and hit Naboot's feet in a more direct approach. They didn't have much joy, City, in the first half, finding that pass to Caputo, closely marshalled, and was on a couple of occasions muscled off the ball, which you don't say too often. Max Caputo, a really strong player.
That's a really good pass in behind for Pennington as he tries to nutmeg his way past Nathaniel Atkinson. Ferreira just gives it straight back to Freeney. He does well. The pass is a good one. Tom Lawrence now gets it back for Pennington. The ball bouncing around. It's not the most controlled attack from Perth, but they've still got the ball. Here's Sutton. He hit the crossbar in the first half. Freeney. Oh, Naboot getting back to put the pressure on him, but Perth again back in control of the ball. Matt Sutton long, but Trent Osler is not going to run onto that one. The Barmy Army you can hear, are enjoying the home comforts, I guess you could say, of football on the day when the cricket has failed to go the distance. Beach with Suprayon. Ball over the top. Kaltak does well. Shamoon. Good to see he's recovered from that knock. Suffered right on the half-time whistle. Looks like he's had that left ankle. There are the cricket fans who have been very quickly adopted by the travelling Perth Glory support. Glancing header, here's Bayic. City need an early goal. Bayic towards Naboot. They don't have the goal, they have a corner.
Every block, every intercept at the moment is celebrated by Perth's defence. That's a little more promising from City, stretching the field, pulling Bayic out wide, searching for that centering cross, but Kaltak positioned well.
Kanamori. And it comes, good header from Pennington, getting the better of Ferreira. Atkinson. Measured pass, Naboot comes inside onto the left. Deflected up in the air, Sutton claims it.
It was a splicey one. Just off the foot of Freeney and up and under. Sutton confident though. Has been really assertive. Coming out and collecting, managing the space in front of him.
Quick feet from Rahmani. Scythed down by Shamoon. A little word of apology to the referee, but none for his opposite number so far. So set piece incoming. The 12 goals that Perth have conceded so far this season, none of them have been from a set piece. I guess there's two ways you can look at that. They've conceded 12 goals from open play. This one. It's a set piece move. Atkinson poking it near post, but into the side netting.
Well, it almost came off. Training ground move, little give and go. Nice run from Atkinson. That's tough to defend against, but just ran out of real estate. I'd like to think that Matt Sutton had the near post covered.
Along it goes. Ferreira, the Argentine, with the header for Naboot. Oh, it's a good ball. Nemeti just not sprightly enough to try and bring it under control as it went past. Samuel Suprayon on the ball for Bayic. Bayic comes inside, as is Bayic. Suprayon with Kuhn. Well, that's a good ball. Bayic in the area. Bayic turns and shoots. Oh, just wide. Well, he ended last season with a flurry of goals. And after the one last Tuesday, he was almost at it again.
Well, what was a disciplined defensive line? I almost just stood still and watched, as his Bayic should not be able to get the ball inside the 18-yard box, turn, face, get a strike away. And only then the pressure arrives to close him down. He's starting to find himself in more advanced positions.
Plenty of cricket fans in attendance this afternoon. The Australians who have retained the Ashes. That's well played, Bozanovski. Good ball as well. Oh, and just behind Suleimani, who couldn't take it with him. really get the feeling Arian Suleimani just needs that first goal to get him up and running. Mind you, strikers, their currency is goals, and if they're not scoring, you only get so many chances, especially when you've got someone like Adam Taggart waiting in the wings.
It'll be interesting to see how and if Adam Taggart's used in this game. Returning from a slight groin strain, you don't want to rush those injuries back, especially with that injury ward there for Perth Glory. Taggart's a player that you want deep into the season to be available.
As this Payachu runs for everything, but clearly not impressed. Well, Adam Griffiths is the first to head to the bench. And it's another youngster, one that we saw for the first time a week ago, the 18-year-old Giovanni Diabru, who's coming on to replace Rhys Bozanovski. He himself is just back in the starting 11, so no need to push his return with another game in Melbourne against Victory on Friday. And Giovanni Diabru showing that he has plenty of quality, which has already been noticed. He's had some experience with the world team at Bayern Munich from youngsters all over the world. Not quite the same level of full senior professional football though, and he's already looked as though he's comfortable to take that step up. Let's have a look here. Kaltak and Nabbout.
Kaltak up reaching to meet the ball first. Free kick going the way of Melbourne City, and pretty handy area. I think a little dinked in ball over the top, or options out wide to stretch the field.
After that blistering start, City have been the more likely scorers, perhaps. Suprayon's header is a really good one. And Nabbout, he swung a hopeful leg more than anything at it, trying to get the touch.
That's a really smart header from Suprayon. The delivery a little shallow, but the header redirects back into a dangerous area, and anything can happen from here. Osler retreating, getting his body in the way. But it's an improvement we're seeing from City. The second half, they've started with a little bit more dominance, a little bit more assertiveness in how they're looking to play.
Nabbout's touch. Rahmani, his touch is poor. Intercepted by Shamoun. Suleimani. He does well to hold on to the ball. The pass back, and now Pennington. Oh, I think he's entitled to ask for a bit of support there. It wasn't an easy ball, and he thought Tom Lawrence would have been coming towards him, which wasn't the case. Pass back, Rahmani for Bayic. It's a good ball. Oh, Andrew Nabbout. In the end, it looked like it was going to be a free header. It was anything but. There was contact with Wootton. Now they come again. Kanamori. Rahmani's cross, back post. Sam Sutton with the header away. And Lawrence again. Not too many people knock Germán Ferreira off his feet like that. Like it's going to be time for another change soon for Perth, as we just see one of the assistant coaches is Suprayon. Looks from distance. Well, those fans behind the goal, they haven't had too much to get excited about really so far. Their side still trailing by 2-0.
Well, much improved this from City, finding themselves in an advanced position. Suprayan's close enough to have a spray, but this would be a real concern for Perth Glory. Tom Lawrence with that right quad heavily strapped. Physio out to have a look.
And it's going to be time for Adam Taggart. Just over half an hour left to play. Well, if he has to come off, it will mean there's no first hat-trick in Australian football for him, but he may yet have done enough to help his side secure the 3 points here. Aurelio Vidmar, who made 2 half-time changes, has seen an improvement, but perhaps not enough. With just over 31 minutes left, let's head back down onto the sideline with Jake Barker-Daesh.
Well, guys, I was just looking at Aurelio Vidmar then. His eyes are piercing at his own plays. We know he's quite placid and calm on the sidelines, but there's no doubt at halftime he would have given his team a bit of a hairdryer to get them going in the second half, which was understandable. But on the other side, you've got Adam Griffiths, who, dare I say, is exhilarating to watch. He's in every challenge, he's in every pass, he's speaking to his assistants, he's yelling at his players. He even questioned one of his players on the field whether they were speaking English because they ran into his one of their own teammates. So he's been a joy to watch in this first half, not just his press conferences, but also his coaching.
Thank you, Jake. We may have to get him mic'd up. Could be a good one for the Perth Glory socials. With Suprayan again, and Emin Jurakovic is preparing to come into the contest as well. He started the last 3 matches in Asia and the A-League, Jurakovic, before today. And the return of Andrew Naboot to the starting 11, a little reshuffle that saw Jurakovic drop to the bench. Here's Kanamori. He's back out on that right wing now. Kanamori with Kuhn. Yeah, just the big players that are not firing at the moment. Andreas Kuhn, who started the season like Max Caputo so well, the last few matches he's been a shadow of his former self. Takesh Kanamori is the player making way. And a double change. Kwano is coming on, as well as Adam Taggart. Adam Taggart, who needs 2 more goals in the A-League for Perth Glory to equal Andy Keogh's record of 59 A-League goals for Perth Glory as their all-time leading goal scorer. Osler and Suleimani, the 2 players making way.
Still felt as though Suleimani had a little bit more to offer in the game. Maybe running out of legs as the 60-minute mark just ticking over. And Taggart, an option, and interesting to see just how ready he is. 30 minutes thereabouts to play. And now the opportunity for him to combine with the likes of a Tom Lawrence.
Well, that was what was working well at the start of the season, was part of what helped turn their campaign around. Time is starting to run out for Melbourne City. Now that's the last 5 shots, not of Melbourne City, but of the match. Perth's last effort came in the 33rd minute from Trent Osler. So the trend is certainly in City's favour, but they have to do something more with it. Kuhn charging forward. No, gets it back. Taggart, little touch. Kwano, can he keep it in? He can. Taggart asking for the free kick, and Suprayan just letting Adam Taggart know that he doesn't agree. The free kick will... Well, Casey Rybelt could have allowed the advantage, really. Kwano had kept it in play and was heading down the wing. Suprail continuing to plead his innocence.
There's no doubt it's been an improvement from City. They looked completely lost in the first half. There's been a little bit more control about how they're playing, not just in the way of possession but decision making. We saw in that first half just deliveries sprayed over the top, hopeful hits. A bit more meaning we're seeing into this second half so far.
We've also seen how it was hard for Max Caputo in the first half. Andrew Naboot hasn't seen much of the ball since moving into that central role. That's a credit to Wooten and Kaltak, perhaps, more than anything, of how they make life very difficult for their opponents in that central striking role at the moment. Scott Wooten, 34 years of age. Josh Risdon is missing today through suspension in his 16th A-League season after picking up 5 yellows. Scott Wooten is currently on 4 yellow cards already, so one more and he will be suspended for the next match, so he'll be looking to avoid that one today. Lawrence, nicely worked with Freeney. Chip ball towards Taggart, lovely football. Taggart went down under the pressure of his Socceroos teammate, as is Bayage. And the referee just wants to give VAR the time to unpack this.
How about this delivery over the top, pinpoint to the chest of Adam Taggart.
Well, there's a little hold on the arm, but not enough.
A little shove, a little hold. Probably not enough. VAR had a look, agreed.
And now City back on the front foot. Atkinson resists the Pennington challenge. Rahmani only finds Pennington with the follow-up. Now Tom Lawrence turns inside. Kai Truan, and he almost found Taggart running in behind. Perth providing less and less of an attacking threat at the moment. They know if they can hold City out for as long as possible, they will have chances. It may not be for long. Scott Wooten somehow turns around and clears with the ball bouncing around inside the 6-yard box. Atkinson straight past Pennington. Now Kai Truan. Ball to the back post, but Sutton. Solid collision with Andreas Kuhn. The keeper claims the ball and the free kick.
That's brave goalkeeping, that. Good save from Sutton in the first instance. A really good chance for City, and you know if they get a sniff, they'll be right back into this. Momentum on their side at the moment, and this Sutton out to collect. Straight through the side is Kuhn. Those ones really hurt.
Just too much air in the ball from Kai Truan, which allowed the keeper the opportunity. There you can see City's dominance territorially. They've been playing in Perth's half of the field in the second half. Mehmeti towards Naboot. Again, Naboot goes down looking for the free kick. It's not much contact, but enough.
Just a stray arm from Scott Wooten. City look to play quickly.
That's a yellow card for Diabru, who has just come in. So first yellow card of the 18-year-old's career. You can see him asking the bench where they want him for this set piece. He's in a second wall behind Kwano. In it comes. Kaltak's header. Corner to follow. going to be Emin Jurakovic to take with that left boot. And it comes. Excellent header again from Kaltak. There's Bajic. Freeney still full of running. In fact, it is Diabru who's into the game and is really covering some territory. That's a good ball though, Jurakovic. It's another great save from Matt Sutton.
It's been good this afternoon. And it's just built in now for City. It almost feels like it's just a matter of time. Really good play. Inside run is found really well. Sutton again at his near post. Big moment.
Ball in, and it's Wooten this time who clears. City repelled again. We're into the last quarter of the contest. If it stays this way, Melbourne City will have won one of their last 6 A-League matches. It is a concerning form slump for Aurelio Vidmar's side. There is the former Socceroo. Mehmedi with Atkinson. Mehmedi again, good challenge, Pennington. Sutton with Taggart, it's well played. Freeney now. They've done that really well now, Pennington. His first touch just suddenly limited his options there.
Yeah, closed his angle off immediately. And a bit hopeful with the hit. Will Freeney does really well though, is just holding on to the ball for long enough to draw in a defender and then release a pass.
Mehmedi against Sutton, goes past him. No free kick. And Sam Sutton is starting to struggle with cramp. We saw it a little bit earlier in the half when he was just trying to stretch out a little bit. Pennington as well.
He's had to work hard up against Mehmedi.
Bit of the pickle juice for those two left-sided players from the bench. And there you can see it, possession very much in City's favour. But Perth, courtesy of their fantastic start to the game where they burst out of the blocks. They may not have had a shot at goal for nearly 40 minutes now, but they will be hoping that they've done enough damage in that opening 22. Ramani with Mehmedi, Atkinson. You can see everyone back for Perth. And Tom Lawrence still working hard.
It's been a quieter half so far for Tom Lawrence, but likewise the rest of the Perth players. I don't think it's entirely unfair to say that that first half was one of the worst that City have had all season. No doubt received an absolute spray, a couple of changes at halftime, vastly improved. Second stanza so far, still plenty of football to play.
Mehmedi's ball in is cleared. Well, you can dominate the possession all you like if the horse is already bolted. Atkinson. A goal could yet change everything though. Atkinson's cross. Bajic. Got it on target. He is always a threat, as is Bajic. Always keep running. Fierce competitor.
Well, he'll be one of the players really driving the standards and the need for that to improve, whether it be through energy, his leadership on the field. You see the second half, City have not allowed Perth a single shot at goal, let alone one on target. It's been well in the hands, dictated by City.
But they still haven't done enough. Just really one good save. It's a yellow card for Irman Ferreira. So he joins Diabru in the book. Well, he followed through.
Yeah, a little late to arrive on Diabru. Was asking for a little bit of attention. The ball was gone. Ferreira finishing through his motion, but still just arriving late to the contact. Doesn't seem to agree.
Well, there was clear contact. You'll see the right leg here. Diabru just goes swinging back. Let's go back down on the sideline to Jake Barkadesh.
Well, Robbie, we've seen the pickle juice coming out to a few of the Perth players who are starting to feel it. With just 15 minutes to go here, 2-0, they say, is the most dangerous scoreline in the game. And it just brings complacency sometimes into people's minds, in particular Perth. We saw the last 10 minutes now just starting to sit a little bit further back. Melbourne City trying to find some rhythm. Sam Sutton's been absolutely outstanding today, but you can just feel the dynamic in the game starting to shift. And these next 15 minutes are really crucial for Perth just to keep their foot on the gas a bit more than they've shown and not allow Melbourne City to get their rhythm.
Thank you, Jake. Well, Perth, I think, are going to content themselves now to just try and defend this lead. There's no need to be adventurous. They've got a 2-goal cushion. The danger is you concede one, the opposition get their tails up, and all of a sudden it's a different ball game.
It's a long time to slow things down as well. 15 minutes of regulation time. Heavy challenge through the back from Lawrence. But 15 minutes slowing things down. I saw that Perth looked good when they were trying to go forward, create, hitting on the counter.
Another change inbound. Beckham Baker into the contest to replace Andreas Kuhn. Kavian Rahmani has been involved in another little scrap there and almost lost his shorts. Hanging by a thread, so are City's hopes in this contest at the moment with 14 minutes left. Ferreira, does he hold the key? Atkinson. Diabru with the header away. Kwano. Shamoon. Kwa again. Real height mismatch between he and Samuel Suprayon, but the little man got the free kick. Really exciting dribbler, Kwano.
Yeah, really talented player and has made a real impact in recent performances coming off the bench, providing a real attacking impetus, creative as well.
Don't forget, Wednesday night, the Mariners, currently bottom, taking on Brisbane Roar, who are enjoying a fantastic Renaissance season, built on their sturdy defence. They are outright the best defence in the land. It looks like Kavian Rahmani may have managed to find some replacement shorts. We've got to get them on now, which he's managed. So hopefully he can focus on his football now for the last 13 minutes or so. We just saw those Perth fans again. Numbers have been bolstered by the Barmy Army. That's something of a loose end this afternoon. Sutton. Cross in, Ferreira clears. Atkinson. Well, now they really need to start showing some urgency. Melbourne City. Rahmani. The big switch, but it's too straight. Looking for Baker. Sutton comes and gets it outside his box. He's got a couple of goals, Kavin Rahmani, this season. After his first, which came against Perth. He followed that up with the winner against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago. That's passes, entire passes. Perth, basically, about 2 passes every minute, a little bit more. They have been without the ball. Here comes City again. Jurakovic did well to get that on its way quickly for Bajic. Bajic taking on Kwa. He's got another corner. Still Perth defend.
It's continued to look lively, as is Bajic, and growing into the second half. Another set piece to defend, another moment for City to try and capitalise.
The move was looking for Atkinson on the volley. He's done well, gets away from Diabru. Atkinson, ball back post. Baker's chest down. Now Kwa, no, on the charge. Lawrence ahead of him. Oh, it's a really good ball from Kwa, no. He's got Taggart in the middle. Lawrence now finds Taggart. The shot, great save, but it's going to be a hat-trick. A first in A-League football for Tom Lawrence. And that surely is the knockout blow. A real sucker punch with 10 minutes left to play. Perth have been under the hammer, defending and defending. But they burst into attack, and in front of their adopted fans, it's the Welshman who has surely delivered all 3 points against the champions.
On the Harvey Norman replay, picked up deep in their defensive half, and Colin No runs on, bursts into space, the releasing pass timed to perfection. And at this point, all roads lead to Tom Lawrence. He has been magnetic this afternoon. The shot from Taggart, the follow-up, a simple pass into the back of the net. And surely 3 goals secures all 3 points. You would think at this stage, surely, for Perth Glory.
Well, we did learn in the women's yesterday, never say never. Well, didn't he enjoy that? He's been a bit of a frustrated figure the last few weeks as well, with the injuries to his teammates in attack. It's been something of a lone stand for Tom Lawrence the last couple of weeks, but it's good to see the smile back on his face. And Perth, after back-to-back wins without scoring, have now sent out a bit of a message to the other sides that are hoping to feature in that mid to upper table. Antonio has come on for Atkinson in the meantime for Melbourne City. That's their 5th and final change. While Adam Griffiths prepares to make his 4th and 5th changes as well. There is Antonio, the teenager who scored in the derby, the first Melbourne derby of the season, his first ever A-League goal. Ferreira, Mehmeti, back with Ferreira. Ball in, Baker is there, Kwano with the clearance. It was Kwa's fantastic ball which split the defence and released Tom Lawrence. And it's another late goal conceded by this City side as well. Antonio, the ball in towards Baker. Shamoon caught late by Baker. He helps him back to his feet. And now we're going to see that double change now, that final double change. Ooh, it is a bit of a clash as well.
straight to ground. Shamoon in a sore one. He's had a quieter second half, Shamoon, but it's fair to say the whole Perth team has up until that moment.
A well-deserved early shower for Tom Lawrence, who gets a round of applause from the Glory fans. And also a few neutrals here for that hat-trick. He's now leaped to near the top of the scoring charts in the A-League as well. Oh, someone's picked up a yellow card. Was it Tom Lawrence for taking too long to go off? I'm not sure, because Adam Griffiths picking up a yellow card. Sam Sutton also makes way, so Riley Fox comes on. Riley Fox for his 4th appearance, the son of Socceroos assistant coach Hayden Fox. You can just hear Adam Griffiths saying it's not 1-0 and that there's time wasting. It's 3-0 with 6 minutes to go, allowing his players to soak up a bit of the joy as Kwa goes down, and as is Baich gets a yellow card as well for that foul on Kwano.
He's absolutely steaming about it as well. And this is where Noah can be so effective. Cuts inside, no doubt contact. Baich arguing an earlier point. And a dangerous area, really dangerous, right on the corner of the 18-yard box. Baich into the book. Perth with a nice cushy 3-goal buffer at this stage. 5 minutes remain. This could be a shot, a direct shot if he likes.
Will Freeney, he also has been absolutely outstanding this evening. Freeney does go straight at goal and is denied only by an outstretched hand from Patrick Beach. It's a really good save.
He's got a lovely, lovely left foot, Will Freeney. He's been excellent this afternoon and doesn't mind a chance of his own. And they'll just chip away at the time here. He'll take his time setting up for this one.
Well, by my reckoning, the last side to have scored 3 goals against Melbourne City was Auckland back in January of this year. Freeney delivers. It's a good ball. Supran's header away. Might yet fall. Diabra, the big up and under. Pennington's head up. Oh, it breaks. Shamoon. Pennington sliding in. And now Suprayon looking for Baker. It's Kwa who slides in for the challenge. Andriano Labib, by the way, was the other player that came on along with Riley Fox. Sutton hoping for just his 3rd clean sheet of the season. He's not far away now. There is the Paramount Plus player index. Lawrence uncontested at the top, and by some distance. It's a good score, 51.4. Sutton as well. Ferreira's still there as Mehmeti, that's a little lucky, gets it back off Fox. Mehmeti still. Antonio. Fox recovered well. Sends it long. Anywhere will do. All the purple shirts are back for Glory. Funnily enough, the last side to have put more than 3 goals past Melbourne City was Perth Glory in the Cup. Is that ball in? The Australia Cup 2 seasons ago now. And after extra time, a 5-4 victory for Perth Glory. In between times, they've been on a couple of heavy defeats against Melbourne City. Here's the comeback on now. Kaltak's header. It'll be another corner. Bekovic, it's a good ball. Again, it's Kaltak who clears. Bajic. Andrew Naboot against Fox. Freeney, anywhere will do.
So strong in those set pieces, whether it's Wooten, Kaltak, Sutton up to clear. Almost impenetrable in that 6-yard box. You mentioned it, Robbie. Perth yet to concede from a set piece this season. You can see exactly why in those moments. But to put 3 past City,
it's almost unimaginable 6 months ago. Here you see it, look, side by side, level on points, only goal difference separating them now. Either side of the top 6. Already Brisbane has been a remarkable turnaround this season under Michael Valkanis. Adelaide are looking good under Head and Andrioli, and now Perth. Most amazing thing about this league is, it's a cliche that gets said, but it's rarely true. But here it really is. Anyone can beat anyone, and anything really can happen. We've had some astonishing results already this weekend. And this, if you cast your minds back to what the statistics told us was going to be the favourite in this one, 75% chance that Melbourne City would win this. Well, that tells you what an upset this is and what a result this is for Perth Glory.
leadership at the back. Kaltak just telling his players to keep their minds. It'll be a long 7 minutes for Perth Glory to hold out. 7 minutes of opportunity for Melbourne City.
Bajic gets there. It is a lot of additional time. Perhaps City are not yet dead and buried. Well, having won 7 of the last 8 against Perth Glory. Glory's last win in Melbourne against City was back in 2021. Baker has got the corner. Diabru not impressed. City pushing. Baker delivers. Wooten again. Antonio back in. Freeney's header. It's going to be another corner. If they can convert one of these, perhaps there is just a glimmer of hope. It's taken short with Bajic. Whips it in. Cleared by Freeney again. One for Pennington to chase. No, not showing any further signs of that cramp. Free kick on Kwa from Baker.
It's a little clumsy from Baker, chasing the game. You've still got 5-6 minutes to play. Conceding a free kick, but Perth will just try and chew away at these moments. And Barmy Army, well, fair to say, they've enjoyed themselves this afternoon.
It's good that they've finally got something to cheer about. Griffith still full of encouragement for his players. Oh, Sutton, he's been caught out! What a mistake! In the 93rd minute against his former club. There will be no clean sheet. Andrew Naboot with his first goal of the season. And is that door slightly ajar? Well, this will be a painful final 4 minutes now for the Perth Glory goalkeeper.
On the Harvey Norman replay, it is way too casual from Matt Sutton, and he'll be the first to put his hand up and acknowledge it. Really poor, pedestrian And in a moment where you need that sharpness to see out a game, it just opens the door, leaves it ajar. And the pictures say it all. Adam Griffiths fuming. These are the moments that you can secure a game, secure a clean sheet. No complaints from Andrew Nabbout, but this last 3 or 4 minutes became a little nervy.
A 45th A-League goal from Andrew Nabbout. And now, oh, that's a poor pass though from Kai Truant. Look at this, you can see what Andrew Nabbout is ready for. Fantastic replay.
Well, the expression ready to run through a brick wall, I think Andrew Nabbout epitomises.
Well, Will Freeney is no shrinking violet either. He puts himself about. Fox. Freeney. It's a good ball for Adriano Labib. That's come off Labib last, I think. Again, perhaps a little too casual. City have the ball back. Do they have the time? Ferreira with Antonio, and it's his touch. Well, it's these little mistakes that are so costly. Aurelio Vidmar knows there's plenty of work to be done for this side that have just taken their eye off the ball domestically in the last few weeks, perhaps so far in this A-League campaign. Just 3 wins in 9 matches before this evening. And they've got plenty of games coming at the moment. They've got another midweek match in a couple of weeks at Sydney FC next Saturday, then Tuesday Brisbane, and then Sunday Newcastle. So another 3 matches in a week, but they're all at home at the moment as well. Fox with Pennington, ball back in towards Adriano Labib. Bajic, Diabru contesting with Baker. Baker's on the throw. They need to move things quickly. In theory, we're into the last 60 seconds of the contest, although there could be more to come. 18 goals in 3 matches so far this weekend. And it's been another thoroughly entertaining evening of Isuzu UTE League football. It really is a league that keeps on giving in the most unexpected of manners. Rahmani. The unpredictability of this season is an absolute feature. Baker, Beckham Baker, the cross in towards Nabbout. The header down, Nabbout. Oh, and it just didn't fall for a teammate as Pennington gets there. And it's all over. It's a famous victory for Perth Glory. Tom Lawrence, their Welsh star, stepping up to the plate, belying their scoring problems of late with a hat-trick, 2 in the first half and then 1 to kill off the contest with 10 minutes left. They have snapped their losing run. Adam Griffiths with his first win as official head coach of Perth Glory. The shake of the hand, full of respect for Aurelio Vidmar. And if it's not back to the drawing board, there is still plenty of work to be done for Aurelio Vidmar, who don't look like defending A-League champions at the moment. That's just 3 wins in 10 matches so far this campaign. They stay in 6th spot on the ladder. right behind them, breathing down their neck, are this rejuvenated Perth Glory side who have travelled to Melbourne and done the job against City, their more fancied rivals. Lawrence with the hat-trick. Unfortunate for Matt Sutton to concede with that mistake at the end. Andrew Nabut's goal that got City on the scoreboard, but it changes little in terms of how this match played out. All over at Amy Park. Melbourne City 1, Perth Glory 3. And let's head straight down to Jake Barker-Daesh.
Well, Robbie, he just told me he wants to hurry up and get over to the Barmy Army, so we've got to keep this snappy. But Tom Lawrence, what a game, a hat-trick. You don't do that every day, and must have felt special.
Yeah. Look, I thought the lads were superb today. I think we've been unlucky the previous 2 games not to get a result, and I think we've shown what we're about today, and just happy for the lads and for everyone at the club to get that win.
How have you been settling into Perth and obviously the A-League? We know you've come with a great pedigree coming from overseas, but obviously it's a new league to you, but you've seemed to have adapted really well.
No, yeah, I love it. I'm not going to lie. I love it. It's a great place to live, and everyone's welcomed me really well, so hopefully I can stay a bit longer.
Well, I'll let you go in a second, but you just got to give me your 2 cents on what's pretty special over there, the Barmy Army and the Perth Glory fans. You don't see that every day.
No, it's a nice turnout, and I can't wait to get over there.